Hey everyone! Curiosity pushes us to amazing discoveries, but some finds may be too terrifying. On your summer trip to a resort, you definitely don't want to happen upon a nuclear warhead underwater or find a shelter that turns out to be a bear's den. Hold on to your seat, because we have 12 accidental discoveries that'll make your hair stand on end. Let's go! Have you ever lost your keys? How about a hydrogen bomb? This happened to the commander of a B-47 bomber in 1958 when he collided with an F-86 fighter in the sky. He decided to drop the cargo from the damaged plane, and a Mark 15 hydrogen bomb weighing 3.5 tons tumbled into the ocean. Hitting the water after falling from 7,217 feet, it's a miracle that it didn't explode. They searched for the bomb at the bottom of Uso Bay, Georgia for 46 years, and when they finally found it, they didn't recover it. The US Air Force assured the public that the flight was just a training exercise and that there was simply no nuclear capsule which could cause the chain reaction of a hydrogen bomb. Although previously declassified documents mentioned a warhead with plutonium, it's not for us to decide whether it's true or not, but you can definitely feel the spirit of the 50s at this resort. And this man discovered something frightening in a completely unexpected place. A photo of an unusual meadow appeared on social media, where a local resident planned to collect some mushrooms. Take a closer look at what you see in this photo. Those definitely are not champignons. That is a huge mountain of real grenades. Their number goes into the thousands. Each of them was once intended for combat, and they are no less terrifying now. Most likely, they were dumped en masse and then simply thrown into the forest for Bigfoot's pleasure. This pile of metal has laid in the open air for quite some time, and so it's surprising that it has remained untouched. Another reason to watch your step when walking in unfamiliar places. Do you smell something burning? The riddle of lightning striking from 6,000 to 24,000 people a year has not yet been solved, but we know for sure that there are places where it strikes twice. Near the village of Kupish, Ukraine, there is a small clearing which the locals have nicknamed the Lightning Nest. In this unusual place, the foliage is withered and charred, and many people start to feel sick. The locals are afraid to come here because they can be struck by lightning at any moment. Lightning strikes trees in the clearing every day, even if it doesn't rain. Scientists think this is because of reduced electrical resistance in some areas, and the villagers talk about flashes of light at night and rays beaming into the sky. Here's some unique footage. This guy recorded a lightning bolt in the clearing and recklessly rushed over to see where it had landed. Don't try this at home. The link to the full video is in the description. Subscribe to his channel. You won't hear about this section of the Thames from your tourist guide. See the mast sticking out of the water? That's the American cargo ship SS Richard Montgomery, which sank near the city of Sheerness in 1944. It was transporting hundreds of tons of explosives that were never used during the war. 6,127 tons of the dangerous cargo were locked in the front and rear holds of the ship, which have now been lying at a depth of 49 feet for several decades. Rescuers concluded that trying to save the supplies would be too risky. It is estimated that 286 giant, highly explosive bombs remained on board, each weighing 2,000 pounds. There were also 6,364 shells of various types, as well as 2,815 fragmentation and cluster bombs, not to mention various boosters, smoke bombs, flare signals, and white phosphorus bombs. The greatest threat is posed by the 1,400 tons of TNT, because due to the destruction of the fuse, it can become inert. According to research, in the event of explosion, a mass of water and debris 1.8 miles high would be forced out, and a 16-foot wave could sweep the Thames into London. A 2,624-foot exclusion zone has been established around the ship, which is only allowed to be crossed with the permission of the Prime Minister. In June of this year, the government began looking for a contractor for a project of £5 million to cut the masts, as they have begun to put too much pressure on the ship's design. Another innocent hobby led to a frightening find. A resident of Michigan was sifting various junk from the Grand River using a magnet. He had never managed to catch something worthwhile when, suddenly, he accidentally snagged a mortar round from the World War I era. But he only found that out afterwards when he brought the treasure home and posted a photo on social media. He immediately called the police, who confirmed the authenticity of the shell and confiscated it for safe disposal. The grenade will be detonated with C4 during police exercises. You may not recognize a grenade at first sight, but what should you do with an invisible threat? This treasure hunter accidentally stumbled upon a harmless little thing while digging, but it seriously scared him. See this compass? It is not safe for humans because it's radioactive. Only one tiny arrow inside it is painted in SPD, but it radiates at 4 to 5 microsieverts per hour. To put that in context, the normal background radiation for humans is 0.2 to 0.5 microsieverts per hour. Even holding such a find in your hand could be bad for your health. Now imagine that you're a celebrity, namely David Gilmour of Pink Floyd. You just want to remodel your house in East Sussex, England, when suddenly the builders tell you that they found a bomb under the foundation. You wouldn't even get that kind of adrenaline rush at a concert, would you? David and his wife Polly quickly left their house while the Royal Navy bomb squad fixed the problem. They had to remove a 5-foot-long tubular device from a projectile from World War II, which could have easily leveled the musician's 6-story house to the ground. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but maybe there's a new explosive hit song on its way. This river in the Amazon was thought to be a myth. Healing properties had been ascribed to its turquoise waters, but no one warned us that it was literally boiling. The water temperature ranges from 122 degrees Fahrenheit to almost 203 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's almost 5 meters deep in some places. Everything that falls into it washes ashore al dente. Scientists believe that the water gets that hot because it seeps underground, heats up there, and comes out through cracks and faults. After all, the nearest active volcano's only 372 miles away, and the local shamans only sound so-so. There is no greater reason to skip class than finding a World War II bomb just a stone's throw away from campus. In Frankfurt, an unexploded British bomb, the HC-4000, was found during construction work near Goethe University. Its name indicates its power and weight of 4,000 pounds, of which 3,000 pounds was explosive material. This bomb was called the Blockbuster because it was the largest for its time and was able to wipe entire city blocks off the face of the earth. So in order to neutralize it, it was decided to evacuate 70,000 people. This was the largest rescue operation in Germany since the 40s. Fortunately, there were no casualties. Remember the tale of Sleeping Beauty? This guy now sees it in his nightmares. One time, he decided to take a walk along the river and explore a nearby cave. He didn't even suspect that a bear's den was waiting for him at the end of the tunnel. At first, he thought that he was shining his flashlight on a brown rock, but after looking closely, he realized that it was a black bear. Fortunately, the bear was in deep hibernation and didn't react to the unexpected guest. But the guy didn't dare to go any further because there's no beast more ferocious than a bear woken up too early. the guy miraculously managed to make it out alive and show us this amazing footage. Our next hero also made a discovery which he did not find very amusing. While working on an excavator in Danville, Matt Bell accidentally found an artifact that his partner mistook for a cannonball. The men simply threw the find out of the ditch and finished the working day. Once at home, having carefully examined the ball, he realized that it was something from the Civil War era and decided to take it to a museum. And then the story took an unexpected turn. The curator of the museum discovered a pressure plate on the ball and was horrified. It turned out to be a 32-pound active mine with explosives inside. Matt recalled that after he found this out, he put the ball into his car, fastened the seatbelt around it, and for a long time couldn't bring himself to drive out of the parking lot. Once at home, he called the police, and the bowling ball-sized bomb was destroyed in a nearby quarry. On Airbnb, you can find out in detail what awaits you upon arrival at your accommodation, but there wasn't a word on there about the neighborhood. A family who rented a house in Florida were looking forward to a great weekend. Something in the lake had gotten the attention of their dog Rascal, but they didn't think it was anything important. The next morning, they found a 9-foot alligator in the pool. The guests considered this all-inclusive gesture a nice gift from the landlord, but still asked him to remove the frightening neighbor. In the video, you can see a licensed alligator catcher pulling the animal out of the water. According to local laws, he just got a new pet. Rascal warned you guys. Well, that's enough for today. Which of these discoveries would you definitely not want to find in your backyard? Share in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on the next episode.